know that people have their ideal concept of what they think foster care is, and I don't want to say it's like an imagination or a fictitious thought, mainly because I know that I had a life in foster care that many foster kids don't get. I mean, for 7 years, I had 2 placements and that's it. And I know that that's not realistic for many foster kids. Everybody's journey is different. So when people tell me like, well, I know this about foster care, and you know, I'd like to tell them like, everybody's story is not like that. Not everybody gets bad placements. That's not what everybody's is like. And foster care for me was the best thing that ever could have happened to me. I went into foster care at 11 because I was raped. I remember going to my first foster home, and I was separated from my brother and sister at that time because we all lived in the guardian's home together. Just being really scared all the time. Some of the girls in there, they just didn't care, and there was a lot of violence. But I remember making good friendships. I remember warming up to things and getting used to the schedule there. So it was a good experience. And then I lived with that foster family for about 8 months, and my brother and sister were taken to a different family. After 8 months, we were not gonna go home as soon as we thought we were. So then they placed me with my brother and sister, which is my second family. And then I lived there for about 7 years.
I met Daisy in 2012, right when we were starting the collaborative care program with the Department of Child Services. Daisy, I was a case manager, and Daisy was one of the first youth that I had the opportunity to work with in the program. Daisy has had a very traumatic past.
In my foster family, they really made it unbearable to live there. They could just kind of put up their wall. So I moved out just a couple months later.
We began working with her and kind of establishing some of those independent living goals that she had.
It was definitely a challenge because in foster care, a lot of foster kids don't get their license until they're 18. So at this point, I didn't even have a license.
I had the opportunity to help her find sustainable employment.
I worked at Arrow at the outlet mall at the time.
She got her first apartment with me.
With the help of collaborative care, I moved out on my own as a senior, and I was just determined to prove people wrong, that I could do it on my own. And I had teachers tell me that I didn't know what I was doing, and I had people for apartments turn me down because they thought I would party too much. And I was just determined that I was, not gonna miss school, and I wasn't going to do all of the things that I could do now that I essentially had no adult to tell me no. So I graduated high school at the top of my class, and I continued to work and make my savings account so that way when collaborative care was done, that I would be financially ready. First semester of college, I got pregnant with my daughter. Had her a couple weeks after finals, and I knew I had the choice that I could stay at home and be a stay-at-home mom, or I can continue to prove these people wrong for everybody who counted on me to drop out of college. So I went back to college.
That's a lot of navigating to do for a single mom, figuring out childcare for your baby, how to get your schoolwork done and still work, because she still had to work full-time because she was living in her own apartment.
My sister, she's 2 years older than I am. She wanted to be a nurse, and I wanted to do everything just like her. So I got into nursing school, my first application, and they told us in orientation, don't get pregnant in nursing school. A month later, I was like, oh, this is what we're doing. So I was pregnant again with my son. And again, I had people count on me to drop out and lose my spot in the program. And that's a spot that I fought long and hard for. I went back, and I had him the day after finals. But I mean, for 5 years, I fought to become a nurse. Graduated nursing school, and then I went through some more challenges, and I failed my NCLEX twice. Even graduating nursing school after 5 years, it was a year later before I passed boards. And it was the hardest thing I've ever been through, but I knew that in 5 years life would be really hard if I didn't have anything to fall on.
What I have learned about her is her ability to overcome anything that's thrown at her. She is creative, she is resilient, she's super smart, and she's an amazing mother. She sets a goal, and then she does what she needs to do to reach that goal. She persevered through, and she was still able to attain her bachelor's degree in nursing.
And I didn't do it alone. I don't claim to have done it alone. I had so much support. So, but for my kids later to see like everything I put into it, and I did it for them. I did it so they could have a home and they can have an actual life later. I never want them to worry about if they're gonna have clean clothes or food or bed. So it means the world for me, for them to understand like that they are the reason I got through. I still heavily dependent on my case management team. When I first met Heather, I did not like her.
She had a lot of spunk, a little bit of attitude. She would tell you that, so I think it's okay that I tell you that.
I felt like she was trying to be my mom.
At one point, I was probably more of a parental figure for her.
And I did not want another mom. When I found out that I was pregnant with my daughter.
Not wanting to tell me when she was pregnant, but me finding out that she was pregnant.
Because I was scared and I knew that the lecture was coming.
Throughout her progression growing up, she really has grown up.
And now I communicate with Heather more than I communicate with anybody.
Like I went more from a parental figure to a mentor and a friend.
She's one of the greatest people in my life.
I mean, she's just an incredible person. She has grown so much. She shows what it means to be resilient and to pick your own destiny and do what you think that you should do and what you want to do with your life, and not let what happened to you in the past define you, but you're choosing your future.
She's just there for me, and even now, like, you know, I know in my head she doesn't get paid to be there for me, but she still is, because we built such a great relationship over the years, and I don't know where I'd be without her.
I'm just so proud of her. Like, she's done incredible things. She's an incredible mom. She's an incredible person. She's a good human being. Knowing that we have youth like Daisy and other youth that I've had the opportunity to work with or see be successful makes it all worth it. It only takes the one kid to show you, like, if you can directly impact someone's life. And that internal drive that she has for herself and now for her children has really been what's pushed her along and pushed her forward to be as the person that she is. I feel blessed and lucky that I had the opportunity to get to know her and work with her and see that success blossom.
I definitely like to look at myself as an advocate and as a leader.
I have had the opportunity to see her speak in front of groups of people and tell her story to really inspire others, and that's always been impactful.
It is really important for me to know that, like, whatever has happened to you does not determine your future. I was in foster care because I was raped, and my mom neglected it. I had some trauma happen at a very young age. I don't feel sorry for myself. It's really important for me to let other foster youth know whatever happens to you happened. It's in the past, and it's up to you at some point in your life to move forward and determine your future. So I grew really, really close to my caseworkers, and since then I've had letters of recommendation from them, and it was really important for me to know, like, you have to build these relationships now.
Two of the most exciting days for us together was the day that she graduated high school and the day that she graduated college. So I got the opportunity to celebrate those accomplishments with her. So I think that that was really impactful.
Collaborative care was such a big impact on my life that at 18, I can promise you, you are not ready to be on your own, and you're not ready to make the decisions as an adult. You're just not ready. And having somebody there on your team it's so important. And also collaborative care, it's not like being in the foster care system still, that I know that you're ready to be done, but it's not the same. It is the most beneficial thing I've ever done.
To be able to see what someone can do for themselves if they have the right support and the right mentality to work towards their future goals has been very impactful in the day-to-day work. There are a lot of days where you see things and that you feel like, I didn't make the difference I wish I could have made.
If I never went into foster care, if things never got reported, I have no doubt that I would have been on drugs, pregnant at a young age, maybe no high school diploma. If I had dropped collaborative care, I don't believe that I would be as successful as I am today. I think I still would have made it through my college career, but things would have been hard. They would have been so hard. DCS helped me get into a safe apartment that I lived in for 6 years, all the way through my college career. I don't know where I would be. I would like to think that I'd still be a nurse today, but the journey would have been a lot harder, and I know that. All of this was possible because of what happened to me at age 11. And now I'm almost 25. I've graduated college. I'm a nurse now. And all of that's possible because of what happened to me. It's not about where you come from, but what you may do with that. Because I could have sat around for years feeling sorry for myself, and instead, I've chose my outcome.